Hello everyone and welcome back. This is game 2 of the series between Hiro and BustRobot. This time BustRobot chose the map and he's over here in red. And I really got to congratulate him because this is Bay of Many Faces. I absolutely love this map and I'm really glad somebody chose it at some point in this tournament because there's so many things that can happen on this map. There's the wide open lower ground which a battle can center on. And usually you actually can get some pretty nice cavalry battles down here as they try and get the workshop. But there's also this really thin corridor right up here which usually has a shrine. I think they randomized the buildings now, sort of, so there used to always be a shrine here. Now it's a farmhouse, at least in this battle, and you would not believe how good this corridor is for melee cores. Especially, you know, those elite katana cores can just funnel everybody there and just cut right through them. I absolutely love it. But anything can happen on this map, which I really like about it, and both players seem to be foregoing the high ground. Maybe it's because there's no more shrine up in that corridor, but they're both sticking to the low ground. The one cavalry unit, a bow cavalry for Hiro, is going to be running up to capture the sword dojo. Great idea, as it doesn't look like anything up here from BustRobot can stop it. So let's talk about the armies a little bit. BustRobot's is essentially identical, so I won't talk too much about it. I didn't notice any differences really. Maybe tweak his cavalry a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same. Experience is a little lower for his infantry troops. Maybe learned a little bit from the last battle and saw how good Hiro's micro is, and maybe opting to have more units on the field to cover the great micro that Hiro has. Look at Hiro's army. His is very similar as well, having the same sort of katana center of his melee line, but having a couple Naginata warrior monks as well. A bow warrior monk this time, which bow warrior monks are very good on this map. This is a great skirmishing map, absolutely. Along with this cavalry component, this guy's great guard, he's already cavalry. He has 2 bow cavalry this time though, so we might see some more aggressive skirmishing from him with a bow monk and a bow cavalry. 2 of them actually. Speaking of skirmishing, we have some going on right now with this bow samurai and a matchlock samurai. Gonna try and whittle this missile force down. Going out really aggressive here, far from the infantry line, trying to get some really shots off. If he got some shot, like one volley off into this great guard, that would be huge. It looks like he's gonna try and do it, but uh-oh. We have cavalry coming in from the side, and they're not gonna get anything off. 2 shots killed 2 Yari cavalrymen, so looks like those marksmen got plowed over though, so big loss there by Hiro. But some cavalry coming out of the trees again, so we have an ambush, a double ambush here from BustRobot. It is a katana cavalry who are at a disadvantage to Yari cavalry, but we'll see if he can pull this one out, having a nice charge there. And the Yari cavalry is already down to 44 men, so we'll see what happens there. Another matchlock samurai comes out of hiding, but it's going to get swallowed up by this great guard, so both sides try to lure each other forward with ambushes, but it looks to me like Hiro's going to get the better of this ambush. This matchlock samurai is shaken at 60 men. Great guard hasn't lost anybody yet, and they're actually on the move, so they'll probably rout soon. This Yari cavalry's lost about 32 men. This great guard hasn't lost anybody yet, hitting this katana samurai, or katana cavalry who's at 14 men and shaken. Will surely be routing soon, along with this bow samurai. And actually this Naginata monk has come down to capture the workshop, so a big advantage here for Hiro in the buildings. Both his attack and defense are going to be buffed, which is definitely going to give him a big melee advantage. And if he can pull out the micro like he did in the first game, this is very solidly in Hiro's control, so BustRobot, being on the offensive here, is going to need to pull something out here in order to win this one. Great guard is streaming forth, but too late to save most of these missile units, as the great guard and Yari cavalry of Hiro is also pulling back. This bow samurai sitting at 39 men will be easy pickings for the bow warrior monk at 43. Already lost 5 men in that volley right there. So this unit will be probably cleaned up very shortly. Another one bites the dust there. Matchlock samurai are coming back into the fight now. Looks like the early action's definitely gone in Hiro's favor. Just set up those ambushes just perfectly. I was able to pull out the advantage. He thought, well, BustRobot, you can ambush me, well, I can ambush you too. That's exactly what he did. This Yari cavalry looks like that's going to be under this bow samurai, who this whole middle section is just gone, except for this guy. Probably feeling pretty lucky. Maybe not that lucky. Oh, yeah, he just got it. No, he's not that lucky. Yari cavalry manages to not rout at 21 men, but that's going to be it for the missile component, which means he's going to be entirely at Hiro's mercy. He does have the one matchlock, but with the range advantage bows have over matchlocks, and the fact that he only has 25 men in that unit means it's entirely in Hiro's favor to skirmish away and just whittle down this line and make all of his advantages that he already has even larger. And so it looks like BustRobot is just trying to think of what he's going to do now. He's pulling everybody back out of the missile range, but they're quickly going to come back into missile range and take some more shots. This matchlock samurai, oh, they're actually going to get a shot off into the bow cavalry through the forest. He did pop increased range for that, and it's going to be Not much damage though. Killed about maybe 9 men in that shot, so not a bad shot from 25 men, but not going to be able to do any real damage at this point. But if you look at BustRobot's line, he does have 2 fully stocked Great Guard left, so there's still some stuff left in BustRobot's bag of tricks that he could pull out here, but Hiro has a nice long line. There's going to be just no room for this Great Guard to maneuver. He's just stretched all the way from one ridge to the other, and it's going to be very hard for that Great Guard to get around the rear. He'd have to come all the way down here and up this ridge again, where they could easily get caught by a spear unit, or even he could maybe dismount this Yari cavalry and have them on cavalry patrol over there. And his melee line is just going to get hammered now by these bows. Actually shooting into the general to really put BustRobot under pressure. He losing any men in that volley, but he will if he just stands there. Another volley coming in, gonna fall short of the general. So for the moment he's safe, but he's just gonna be taking casualties here. Matchlock Samurai down to 20 men now, 19. They're shaken, being far from the general. They will surely rout soon. Taking a moment to reload. There they go. They shattered. So there are absolutely no missile units left for BustRobot. Looks like he came down here to try and capture the workshop, maybe to try and draw as many forces out of position for Hiro as he can. Bows are still shooting into those matchlocks. A bit of a micro mistake there to be shooting at a unit that's already shattered. I want to save those arrows for shooting elsewhere because he's just going to have all day to skirmish. I mean, BustRobot has nothing to stop. He has to pretty much attack now. He has nothing to stop this missile attack, except maybe to use some of his melee cavalry, but he has to conserve every ounce of melee cavalry that he can because he's got a big line to fight through. And it's a line that's untouched as well. All the 120 men. Along with the Nagano. He can use this Yari Ashigaru in front like he did in the first game and really just throw a wrench into the line of BustRobot. Looks like he's sending all his cavalry units up in front to try and maybe flank early before the battle starts. This Nagano monk's going to be all over it. BustRobot pulling out at the last second. No, sort of recommitting as well, so not going to get a good charge off, and this Naginata monk's just going to be able to go to town on this Yari cavalry, who's actually going to pull out and leave it to the Naginata samurai. A Nodachi as well is coming to charge the Yari Ashigaru, and only killed about 15 men on an uphill charge. Wasn't a very good one, so we're looking at the lines of engagement, and Hiro might just be able to whittle this down at his leisure. Bonsai coming a little late from the Nodachis, who are at 36 men. Actually, I said early, but being only 36 men, they were just about to rout, so probably the only time he really could use it there. Cavalry's just trying to find a way around this melee line, but there's just not enough room. Probably should have tried to maneuver his cavalry around earlier around the bottom of the ridge. Yari cavalry coming up in front. I think he's just trying to get around, but there's just nowhere for him to go. Naginata monk's going to be charged up here, just going to try and maybe force his way through the high ground and through this Great Guard, but it's just not really going to work. He's all bunched up as well, so if Hiro could get a cavalry unit around the rear, or even any unit, this could be over very quickly. General's in stand to fight, but he's getting stuck in the melee fight with this Katana Samurai. We already have some routing along BustRobot's lines. It looks like Hiro just being very patient here, and just a very calculating way to go about these two battles. Very confident in his micro, and we can see why, as it's been working out very well for him. But the infantry battle is raging now. It looks like Hiro just has too much to deal with here for BustRobot. Great skirmishing there early on, was able to take out all those missile troops, and it really left BustRobot vulnerable, spreading itself so thin over this ridge. There's just nowhere for the cavalry to go, and this Katana Samurai will surely be routing soon. Again, just taking it chunk by chunk, doing a nice job of just splitting up BustRobot's melee line, which is very masterful. It's definitely what you want to do in an infantry engagement if you have no cavalry. And look at this, the Yari cavalry is going to go all the way around and hit from there. That's going to send off mass routing along this center chunk. General's down to 7 men. He's still alive though, but that's going to be mass routing. It's all over right there. Hiro takes the series 2-0. See you back on the main menu. Well, Hiro takes the series 2-0, and very, very well played there from Hiro. Very impressive match in both of those games. He was just in control so much, never wavered, and just showed no fear either with that early cavalry action. I love early cavalry action, using it before the melee battle even starts, and just going right for his weak spots and hitting them hard, and pulling it out with superior infantry use. And it was just well done to break that up into little chunks. That's why you got to try and get your good engagements. You have that big infantry advantage. You want to hold down as much of the enemy as you can right away and stay together. If you stay in that big chunk of melee where they can't split you up, you'll just be able to be a meat grinder that can just push through anything. and BustRobot wasn't able to do that in this one. Hiro was just too good for him this time. I mean, Hiro was just very good in that game. He definitely deserves a spot in the winner's round. Going on to round 3, BustRobot not out of it yet, going down to the loser's bracket. And I guess I will see you there in the next match. Thanks for watching, everybody.